Hey guys, it's Andrew again, giving you another update on my head. Sorry it's been a minute, I've been super busy, can't help it. Again, like I always say, I'm going to try to give you guys more updates, but we'll see. But okay, so like I said, I've had my sixth treatment today. She hit me really hard with the laser, and I'm making some pretty good progress. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. And forgive me, I'm not like an expert photographer or videographer, so I'm going to turn around again. But if you guys have watched my other videos, you know how good I am at that. So I'm going to try. Okay, just got to be patient with me. But I'm also going to give you some answers to some common questions. So I don't get a whole lot of comments on the videos. I mean, I get some, but I get most of my feedback in the form of messages from you guys, and I try to respond to all of them, but some of them, you know, I just get asked a million times. I just want to make sure I answer them for you guys. So I'll put the timeline for the video in the bottom here in the about or whatever, that section. And if you guys want to skip forward to like what you really want to see the answer to, you can do that. If you want to hear me talk for 10 minutes, that's cool too. So first I'll show you my head. I don't have any dark hair on the side here. It's completely gone. I don't have any here on this side. I don't have any on the most of the top of my head. There's a few spots here that have developed. Can't be helped when you're doing this. So that's one thing you guys need to anticipate. You will have patchy hair when you're doing this. I think that's probably an obvious thing, but you're gonna have to be okay with that actually. So make sure if you guys start doing this, you're okay with for about like 6 months. Some of the time, if you don't shave your head every day, you're gonna be patchy. My friends call me Patch now, so they're not gonna do it forever. But especially now that I'm almost like totally bald, but just expect that. So let me show you the back of my head. And like I said, I'm not an expert at this, so forgive me. But it's just to give you guys, if I can't do this very well, it's super patchy. It's getting there, but that's where we have the most work left. But let me show you. So this is the back of my head. So it's like you gotta do the opposite thing in the mirror. So that's it right there. And as you can see on my neck, it's super irritated looking. But we're getting there. The back of your head, especially when you're balding, like I was, and even guys who have a full head of hair, anybody, any man or woman, where you have your thickest hair is going to be along your crown and then the back here. And I don't think I showed you guys a picture yet of what I looked like when I was thinning, but like I had a really extreme widow peak deal going on, and I had like a streak right here, and I was actually thinning out here, and I started two in the back too. But it was as thick as it could be, absolutely not diminished at all along my crown and the back of my head. And that's why it's just taking a minute. And as you guys can tell, it's super irritating. So I wanted to show you guys this too before I answer some questions. So you're going to want this. Tin Skin, you can buy it at a salon store. You can order it online. That really helps. So when you get this done, you're getting a laser zapping your head. That's what's happening. So your skin's going to be irritated. So anything like this, the tin skin, not only does it help like soothe it, but it helps reduce like actually like diminish like skin irritation. It's also good for things like ingrown hairs. That's a random tidbit. So I would definitely recommend picking up a bottle of that. It doesn't take a whole lot to cover your head for a day or two. I've had the same bottle this entire time, and I'm like a quarter of the way through it. So it's really worth the investment. So, okay, let me start answering some of your questions. We're at 5.5 minutes. So first thing, this is the most common question, is cost. So what I've prepaid for 9 sessions is going to cost me $1,000. So how the place where I go to does it, they break it down, is 4 treatments cost $500, and you have to buy them in four treatments. You can't just buy one, so you have to pay them $500 and you get 4 treatments. Now, if you guys can remember from my last video, the laser was down for a whole month. It was actually longer than that, and I didn't let them know, but I was super irritated about it, and I was really thinking about going somewhere else to like pick up some treatments, because I didn't want to have to be. It went for a month. It was down for a month. Like, it extended the time between my treatments for a whole additional month. So it was actually down for 2. Sorry, rambling here. It broke like maybe 2 or 3 days after I had a treatment. And then when I called to confirm my appointment the next month, because I go every 4 weeks, they told me it was down, and I would have almost been able to have another treatment by the time it was back up. So their way to make that up to me was giving me a free treatment. So that's how I have 9. So 9 treatments, $1,000. I'm pretty confident we're going to get it done in the 9. So I have 3 whole treatments left after this. And one thing you guys have to remember is nothing really shows up on this until about 2 weeks. So you're gonna, especially people who get it for the first time, you're gonna be walking around for a week or two wondering, like, did anything happen? I was actually super concerned, and then right at like the 3rd week mark, holy crap, it was really, it was insane. It was really patchy, and then it's just been really consistent after that. So definitely, make sure you look into it before you sign up anywhere. Don't just go in there and let them laser you. I've heard a few stories about like people walking in on like that day and not being fully informed about a plan or anything. So make sure you know like what you're paying for and what you're getting. I called a bunch of places for you guys, actually. I called like a place. I live in the South in a small regional town. Huge university though, so it's pretty comparable to really big metro areas in terms of price, like housing and everything. So I called some places in Atlanta, I called a place in New Jersey, I called a place in California, and I think I called a place like in Minnesota, and it was all about the same. So I would expect, like, so if you, it takes 8 to 10 treatments, I'm going to tell you right now. So expect that for cost. And it should cost, I would say, like, if you live like in California, maybe, or, certain places in Florida, maybe more expensive, or New York. So I would say anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 is what this should cost you. If it's more than that, you guys really need to call someone else. So yeah, that's all I have to say about price. Now, the next question I get almost as much as cost is pain level. So I have 2 huge tattoos. I'm not going to show you guys, but it didn't hurt. It doesn't hurt anywhere as near as bad as tattoos, but I can't tell you it feels good. I mean, it definitely, you guys can see there's some irritation. Like, it definitely doesn't feel good. I don't know what to tell you. I have a really high pain tolerance. I don't think tattoos hurt all that bad. I mean, it definitely is something you can endure. It doesn't feel good, but it's not so bad. But it doesn't feel good. I guess I would maybe say it feels like someone pulling back a rubber band and as far as they can and snapping you on the head every zap. And then, you have to get zapped like, I don't know, I didn't count, but I'm sure she does it over 100 times in a session. So got to think about it. So people, want to do this. I've only had one guy be like really, really, really like it was a deal breaker for him if it was going to hurt. It's not going to feel good. So just expect that. Yeah, so that's going to cover pain. Sorry, I have to keep looking at my phone. Type of laser is the second most common question. So this comes into play when you're deciding where to go, apparently. And I had to do a lot of research after I started getting these questions. So the YAG laser is a type of laser. Apparently, it's the most effective at destroying a hair follicle, but it also is apparently way more painful than another type that's pretty common, and I forgot what it's called. Should have been more prepared for this, but I would say the YAG, just looking into like online and stuff, I wouldn't go somewhere that didn't use a YAG laser. I want it to be the most effective. So that's what I would recommend. So again, though, when you're doing this, the type of laser that you get is going to be determined by the type of place that you go to. I would not recommend you do this at some like beauty spa or some med spa, like in a strip mall that they do like Botox in and like skin treatments. I would say like go to like an actual plastic surgeon's office or go to a dermatologist's office. 10 years ago, I had laser hair removal. I didn't know any better on my shoulders and my back. It's never come back. The hair hasn't. And that's another question really quick. I'll dive into this really quick. People ask me if this is permanent. Yes, it's permanent. I get that question a lot too. Laser hair removal is permanent. I don't know where people get that it's not like some temporary thing. Anyway, I had laser hair removal 10 years ago, and I think it was a different type of laser. I don't have any hair on my shoulders or my back. So it's permanent, but the place I went to, I didn't really know. I would never let them do anything in my body again. So they're a big chain. I'm not going to say what they are because I don't want to get sued. I don't know if that's like possible, but I don't want to risk it. But they're a big laser type place. They have locations all over the country. And I called about my head again because they were the first place I called when I was trying to do this research. They're like an hour from me. That's why I didn't go there first. But I called just to see like if I could get a price on it or whatever, and they told me they don't do laser hair removal on a head. And I asked them why, and he couldn't tell me. And I did some more research into the company, and I called another location, and she told me that it was going to be $10,000 to do my head. So, I paid like $3,000 for my shoulders and my whole back 10 years ago, and they wanted $10,000 now for my head. Absolutely not. So make sure, again, that goes back to price, where you go. Make sure you guys go to an actual dermatologist or a plastic surgeon's office, please. This is your head. You're gonna, especially us bald guys, this is what everybody likes to see and look at. I catch people staring at my shiny bald head all the time. Like, don't risk it. Go somewhere that, like they know what they're doing. Because apparently this big chain that I was going to go to, or wasn't going to go to, but would have gone to if I lived closer, I would never let them do anything to me ever again. So the next question I get a lot is, like, a lot of people like sending me pictures and stuff, like if they're a candidate. So laser hair removal, just in general, you guys can do a really quick Google search on this. The darker your hair, the lighter your skin, the better candidate you are. It sucks. But if you're really light skinned and you're like, really blonde hair, it's not going to work. If you have really, really, well, it's not going to work as well. I mean, it may work some, but it's not going to work as well. And if you have really dark skin and really dark hair, again, there's ways to do it with anybody, but it's just most successful and you see the most results when you have the bigger contrast. And so what the laser does is it finds pigment and it destroys it with heat. And it's just best when there's a contrast. So another thing you guys have to look at is I have some gray in my beard, and I also have a lot of red, lighter red in my beard. But on my head, I don't have a picture to show you guys. I don't know how to put that into a video. I didn't have any red in my hair. My hair was really, really dark brown. And just from my beard, I guess, like it was, some of the gray was traveling up, which I'll talk about in a second. So I just happen to be a really good candidate for it. Now, if you have a lot of gray in your hair, you just have to expect the laser can't get gray hair. It's searching for pigment. So I would say well over 99% of all the hair on my head was dark brown. So I had, like I said, there's some gray here that the laser's not going to get. So this is why I did this at this age. I really wanted to do this. If you're, a little bit older than me, whatever, and you have a lot of gray in your hair, like a lot, I wouldn't do this, because you're going to end up you're going to have patchy hair unless you're willing to do something like electrolysis. So that leads to my last question that I get. Like, a lot of people ask me, like, what do you want out of this? Which I think is kind of a weird question. Obviously, to me, the obvious thing is I want to be super, super bald. I want to have absolutely like no hair on top of my head. I just like how I look bald, aesthetically. And I feel like if you're going to go for it, you might as well go all the way. I'm never going to have hair again anyway. I was really, really, really losing my hair. I own it. I'm not afraid of being bald at all. So I definitely want to be like, Mr. Clean. People call me like cue ball, whatever. Like, I want to have no hair. I want to be able to like rub my head over it and not feel anything. So laser hair removal, though, is only going to get me so far, because I do have some gray. And so what I'll have to do is get electrolysis. Electrolysis, basically, like an instrument, pulls hair out and it damages the follicle to the point where it can't grow back. And so that's the only way to have permanent hair reduction when you have gray hair. It's just the only way to get it done. So I really expect laser hair removal to get me 99% of the way there, but I'm going to have to do electrolysis at the very end. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and look for my next update.